Just literally walked up to people in the basketball court like, have you got a DJ for your 16th? I know a guy.
I'm that guy.
I'm that guy. Literally, that was my first party ever. Went to uni for 2 weeks and then I left. Did that, realized it wasn't for me. I'm like, fuck it, we're gonna do music full time, we're gonna have a crack. Just got like I think I got probably about 35 just sitting there, just like
Ready to go.
pick me. I know people just make music and whips for the fun of it, which I definitely do. But so a lot of my music's very, I guess, emotional and a part of me. And if I can help someone, or if I can put that in it, which I try to, then yeah, it's cool.
What's good, everyone? Welcome back to Behind the Tune. Joining me is one of Sydney's premier producers and DJs, Audent Reality. Or is it just Audent?
It's just Audent.
Audent, but your Instagram handle is Audent Reality.
Audent Reality is just because I didn't want to do Audent music because...
Wait, really?
yeah, sorry. We didn't want to do the whole Audent music thing because there's just more things in the world than music as your Instagram ads. More to it as well, but yes, it's just Audent.
Just Audent?
Yep.
And where'd you get that name from?
So, I think it was 2021. I actually, I can answer this in like 20 minutes or like 2 minutes. I don't know what we want to do here.
Let's go in between.
Okay. So, all right. Well, in 2021, when I got picked up by Pat for management, we decided to rebrand, and so we were coming up with names because I was just going to be called Gal, which is really cringy.
What was the origin of that name?
It was just, well, my name's Callum and Cal, and
Oh,
that was just what everyone called me. But that was when I was making, I wasn't even making music, I was just DJing like Good Life and rhythm and dubstep, and it was a whole thing, but don't worry about that. We'll probably cut this out. So yeah, we're coming through names, and we wanted to do something around something to do with like inspirational, not cringe, but so Audent just means in Latin for dare, or they dare.
Okay.
So it just means if you wanted to tie it all in as like a whole branding together thing, it's like Audent means they dare, and then reality means they dare to create their own reality. It's just like the people that want to, like, I don't know, chase the shit that most people are scared to, without making it a whole too deep thing, because it will probably make more sense when it's at a bigger stage in the project, like Anima and like all those guys. But the foundation's there for when things start to happen, I guess, rather than just getting to a point where it's like, where do we go from here? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
In terms of branding, it's like this, there's space to move, but
Okay.
it just means, dare to create your own reality, but it also sounds pretty cool.
It does, yeah.
Because there was a lot of names that came into play, and we had to find the right. Also, A is kind of cool because it might sound a bit how you going, but actually no, we can cut that bit out. Yeah, it's good. It was 2021 rebrand, and then we just decided it, and we just went with it. But I'm really happy with it. I actually haven't changed my thoughts once about it. So
It's got like a deep meaning behind it.
yeah, it's different meaning, but no one knows it, and I don't really need them to know it. Like, if people want to look into it, for sure, but I think that it's like cool. It's great that it means that. But it's like, I think when more people are talking and more people care, I guess it would be more of a then people might ask, if that makes sense, rather than me just going to everyone, hey, this is what it means. Like, it's not cool then. It's like people want to kind of talk and, I guess, figure things out, rather than just tell them everything, which is what my whole kind of persona is about, without making it my personality, but making it just, I guess.
So would you in that sense say that Audent and Callum are two separate people?
Yes.
Or two separate personas?
I'd say personas, because I don't really, like, I myself am pretty bubbly and pretty happy, but and I still definitely am in my persona, but I think that it's not black and white, but it's definitely darker in terms of how I try and portray myself.
Okay.
Because if anyone knows me, I'm not. I'm just I'm a bit of a goose. So, but when I go on stage though, I want to be taken seriously. So that's why it's like, if I want to play these kind of things, it's like I don't want to be the goose that I am on my off days. Does that make sense without sounding like too much of like a...
No, that makes a lot of sense. It's just interesting that you have sort of like these two, I guess, would you call it like an alter ego?
You could call it that. I thought about that a few times. I'm like, I don't know if I would want to call it that, but it's definitely it's definitely a different feeling of it's not, I wouldn't separate them completely, but they've definitely got their spaces where I'd be like, all right, black shirts, black pants, chuck your stuff on. Whereas when I go to the beach and stuff, I'd be more just that Aussie bloke.
Yeah, right. So Audent's more like on stage, and then Callum's more like off stage.
Oh, not even off stage, because I'm in the studio most of the time, to be honest. Right, but it'd be more like
non-music.
Yeah, non-music, like just with friends. And even though, in saying that though, the way I dress and the way I guess hold myself is kind of mingles into the two, but there's definitely that point of difference. Like even when I go to the studio, I actually like to just wear my stuff I'd wear on stage, or wear stuff that I'd wear on a night out, because I just don't want to I want to kind of separate it, I guess. Yeah. It's like, this is why you're here, this is what you're doing, this is not what it's not just another day. And it's like it's a whole mindset thing. It doesn't actually change anything in terms of you can still make a sick song in boardies and no t-shirt, but like
you like encompass the whole like
yeah, because people, even when they worked from home, I think in COVID, it was just like they did it to make themselves feel as though they're getting up for work, they're doing things but it makes it feel more, I guess, real than just sitting in your PJs and doing work, which is nothing wrong with that, but it just, for some people, they want that kind of mentality switch, which they can't get from just
That's true though, because I work from home as well some days, and like sitting in your pajamas definitely like is a different vibe to like even like just chucking like a different pair of clothes on.
Yeah, no, it is. It's literally changed everything. Even if you go to the gym in a different shirt, different pants, you feel different, and it's more than just a fabric. But yeah. So
since you mentioned that you like, Callum's is one, bubbly person, why have you sort of chosen to completely do like the complete 180 and make your music brand different to who you actually are?
Actually, I've probably worded this wrong. I'm actually still very much like, I guess, my persona is just not portrayed as much in the days, but like I'm still very much like the music I make and the shows that I play and what I love is very much the same. But I guess, wait, what was the question again?
Like, why have you sort of taken, like, why has the shift from like your normal personality, like Callum, done like a complete 180 basically to
it's for a lot of things, but the main one being so that I'm in a place that makes sense. So I'm not doing it just for the simple purpose of seeing and looking a certain way for a certain promoter or event, but it's definitely part of it. It's what everything is. You want to kind of have a consolidated, I guess, overarching view when someone looks at your homework. It's like, or you know what you are pretty quick. And just having things kind of consistently as they are, it kind of makes a sense for when people think of XYZ. So I don't know, when you think of Fred again, you already have an image in your head of what it is or he is or what it's kind of about. You don't think of him as like, I don't know, 200 BPM drum bass. Like, you kind of have a good idea what you're going to get. Until they drop country rhythm. But no, it's definitely more of like if I want to get the shows that I want to play at, and not just because I want to get them, but because I actually love playing at them, I want to be in a light that is, I guess, makes sense for them to even consider, rather than just like a bit all not, you know what I mean? Not cohesive, I guess.
Yeah.
But, it's all very me. It's still not me trying to be someone.
Yeah, okay.
I guess it's just...
So you take your branding in that sense pretty seriously then?
Yeah, I used to... Yeah, it's been very imprinted in me from people that... Like, even Pat, when I was managed with Pat, it's just so... I think it's a good basis and foundation of any kind of artist project, because... Like the music can be crazy and insanely good, but it goes to show how much the whole thing kind of comes together and matters. Like even Anima is probably the perfect example that I could think of. With Anima with all the visuals and all the production, like that is in itself like it's a whole thing. Yeah. And his music's there to back it up though, always. Like, but when you have the two kind of synchronizing, it's like it's more to grab onto, I guess, to separate yourself, because there's so much noise. Everyone's freaking making insane music now, and it's like
you've got to take that branding half seriously now, like a lot more serious.
Not even. I wouldn't say. I don't like using the word seriously because it makes me feel like I have to care about my coloring and everything. And it's like I do to an extent, but no. Like I just need to, I guess, have just a cohesive. I used to care too much, but now it's just a cohesive kind of general idea. But to an extent, yeah, because I look at some people's pages, and not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm like, what's going on here? We got pink, we got. I don't know what the go is here, and it's not like you have to be all color coordinated, because I'm not. You don't have to be tiff like that, but like, yeah, it just makes sense to me. But I don't think it's the whole thing. Like you can have insane music and still blow up on TikTok, whatever, and put on Spotify, and it's like, doesn't really matter. But yeah, it definitely plays a part, and I think there's more to it than just music. But music at alone is, I'd say, 80% of it, and the rest is just kind of building onto it. Because at the end of the day, it all just comes down to your music and the fans listening to it, because they're the ones buying the tickets.
So, how would you describe your music to everyone listening and watching? Like what inspirations do you sort of grab from, like in terms of like sounds and artists and stuff like that?
So I could probably think of like 3 or 4 that'd be me to a T. Like if these people had a baby and then I came out of it, I'd like to think of me.
Okay, that's a great way to put it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, it'd be Rebuke, IO, rest in peace, Camel Fat, Spectre. Yeah, I think one more. Anima. That's probably the. I don't know if it was 4 or 5, whatever it was. Definitely Rebuke. His sound design is stupid. Just, yep. That's what I love though. To kind of make your, like, that's my first song that I put out. My idea was just to have a really wacky sound and also still kind of like fit somewhat into a place that you could listen to, like my parents and family could like
still vibe
with it. Because like I don't know, it's just I like both and I like a lot of things, but I don't know if I could put myself in one kind of spot for like what I do, because I just evolve all the time. But at a basis, I'd say I'm definitely not as slow now though. I'm not. I used to make 128 for all of COVID when I first started producing. Now I've found, after making all that music, which I love, and it's why I got picked up from label and management, whatever. But it's like I've kind of shifted, I feel though, to when I played my first show in Sydney in 2021 as Audent. It really kind of consolidated what I wanted, and it was a bit faster. But then even then, it's just kind of solidified itself. So I'm probably making like 132 up mainly now. But I have a lot of songs from a bit slower. But what I actually make can go from really heavy to like just euphoric and like inspiring, uplifting.
I've noticed that with your songs. You have like very like hard stuff, and then you sort of go to the other end where it's like very like progressive.
Yeah. And I'm just true. No,
but that's not a bad thing. It's like shows that you can like diversify.
Yeah. Well, I just hate to think that I have to do one thing for my whole career. Like, I definitely want it to make sense, I guess, and be able to someone to know my name and be like, oh, like have an idea of what I'm about, not like, I don't know. When you think of people that you know what you're gonna get, and I feel like I still want to kind of hold that to its place, but by that I mean like, not just make like totally opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of what genres I make, but still just keep my vibe in there, like my kind of sound, you could say, because I definitely do love my intricacy with my midis, which is like the Do you produce?
No, I do not produce. I know very minimal like music terminology, so it's a bit difficult for me to sort of like relate to a lot of producers that talk about their
short story
techniques.
Short story. So if anyone knows music theory or even just rhythm to an extent, it's just a 32 is like if a I'm not even gonna do this. Why am I doing this? I keep going into nerdy. So it's just like the little short little notes at the start or end of a progression or even just a note, and it just kind of gives that little edge. I like to do that. I'm not saying that's my whole basis of my sound, but like I definitely do that. People have said it to me before. I'm like, oh, true. I kind of do that. But yeah, and then like I want to kind of keep things like that, and just I don't even have to really think consciously about it, but it kind of just goes through my music in most of my music. Some you definitely can't tell if I made the same ones, like in terms of what they sound like, but as a basis, yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Like, so if I make an uplifting trancey kind of techno or a heavy dark one, you can kind of hear similarities. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Sort of, I guess, in terms of like your production and stuff, how did you sort of get into music? Because you were telling me before, I was going to say it for the pod, but you've been in the industry for what, like 10 years now, you said? Or you've been like DJing for a while
so
now?
I started DJing when I was 16, I think, or 15. Mm-hmm. So what's that now? Math ain't math.
What year was that?
It's 2016, I think.
So
or
like
2016 or 17, yeah. 7 years. Mm-hmm. Yes, it would be 7.5, I think, because I got decks from my mum for Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Love you, mum.
Shout out, mum.
Shout out, mum. DDJSB. Best day ever. Couldn't use it.
Do you remember what they were?
DDJSB.
Oh, you said I
couldn't use my decks for 6 months because I had a clapped out Honda of a laptop, but we got there. No, I got a Mac the year after, but
right.
Yeah, it was started then. Did house parties, did my friends' 16ths and stuff. Just literally walked up to people in the basketball court, like one of my best mate's girlfriend now. I'm just like, have you got a DJ for your 16th? I know a guy.
I'm that guy.
I'm that guy. Literally, that was my first party ever. Then just kind of did that for like 4 or 5 years. Built my basis of, I guess, fan base per se.
Like was more house parties and stuff? Yeah,
all house parties. It was bloody good. It was fun. It was Friday, Saturday after the week at school, and it was just it was fun. Like I'd always be excited because like I'm getting paid a decent amount of money for what most people are in Macca's for. Well, nothing wrong with Macca's, but it was fun. And I just I did that for probably 4 or 5 years. Then I did. I don't want to talk much about my past project because it's not what we're here for. But,
okay, yeah. We can just like make reference to it, but not too much reference.
Yeah, I just it's cringe. We gotta leave it there. It's to be in the grave.
That was in between your house parties and Audent.
Yeah, so that was even just So I did house parties, and I think I was just Cal then still, but then did Good Life with Jack Tipping, J Tip. He's a boss. We been friends in probably 8 years now, but we did Good Life together, just a back-to-back.
Oh, okay. What year was that?
2019 and 2020. That kind of really solidified my idea of what I want to do with my life. I'm like, even though it was short-lived, it was fun. I'm like, yo, this is it. Like, this is the feeling that I got when I walked off stage. I was just like, I know this is not what I'm meant to be doing right now in terms of where I am in like the kind of light I am right now, but this is definitely where I want to be and what I want to do. And to be given such a big platform at such a young age, you're like, it's so overwhelming almost. It's like, whoa. But I walked away and I'm like, this is what I want to do with the rest of life. So next year I went to I signed up. I went to uni for 2 weeks and then I left.
What would you enroll into?
Economics and commerce.
Okay.
At Wollongong.
I was in that as well, actually. I graduated with.
So you're like the other side of the fence that actually kind of.
I'm like your alternate reality.
Yeah, he's the guy that actually Yep. So
nothing wrong with either choices though.
Yeah.
At
So
the end of the day, we're still here together. We're talking. So
yeah, we're here now.
We met.
we're drinking. So it was like, yeah, I did that. Realized it wasn't for me. I'm like, fuck it. We're gonna do music full time. We're gonna have a crack. Probably hands down the best thing I did for myself at that time, because I don't know what else I would have done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, uni was not it. Like, not one bit of it. Like, sure, I was smart in some aspects to get there, but it's like, when I sat in that statistics room, I'm like, this is not it. This is not me. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, statistics.
I can't do it for 3 years.
Statistics was the most fucked. I think I'm pretty sure that made me drop out as well.
Yeah.
But I just stronged it, and I was like, oh, now I'm here.
Yeah, nah.
With my piece of paper.
Piece of paper that gets you into a good job.
Good job, yeah. So far.
So I stuffed that off, did a year of full-time music just in the bedroom. Shout out mum for listening to my doof for a while. It was good. So I pretty much did 3-4 days in my room making music with no kind of place to play it at or anywhere, because this is obviously when the clubs weren't there. But I actually was kind of not mad about it now that I think about it, because I didn't have any distractions or any influences at that time, which honestly, I think that if I did that now, or if that happened now, like I started doing the whole full-time producing thing then, it would have been maybe a bit different. Like I might have been swayed a lot more of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, there's just people listening in their cars, people just not out. And it was like, I really kind of found what I loved, and I still do. It's definitely that sound that I kind of hold is within my music now, but it's like really kind of set me up. And so 2021, I did, I saw my first release in September, I think.
2021?
Of 2020, I think.
Okay.
Maybe a bit later. This was with, actually now I'm going on another tangent. But we can go into that.
Yeah. Well, it depends what makes more sense for the story.
I forget what the question was.
What was the question? I feel like we've sort of just like.
Sorry, I have severe ADHD, and I just cannot, within any sense, hold any kind of conversation more than 10 minutes without getting distracted. But it's okay.
I think we're just talking about how sort of you went into uni, dropped out, and then you did music full time.
Yep.
And then you signed your first release in September 20.
Yes, because Rebuke played it on his radio show, and then
your release. Your song. My
first one, before it was out. I sent it to him, and then he played it. I was like, whoa. And then I put it on Facebook, and then Geordie Lambo, shout out Geordie, you the man. He signed it with Tomorrow, and then that was my first release. And then
what song was that?
Tunnels.
Okay. Yeah.
So that went well, and then I just kept making music. I think it was like March or Feb of 2021, approached by Pat for management. It was cool. And that's when we started talking about the whole rebrand thing, because we actually hadn't put that song out yet.
What song?
Tunnels.
Oh, okay,
so we'd signed it, but we're like, Pat was working in the office at the time because it was COVID and he was usually in America, but he came over and he's like, yo, we got to do something with this. Like, and I'm like, no, it's from Releases, Cal. Like, this is fine. Like, it's cool. Because I was just like, this is scary. This is a lot. I just thought of like, because I thought I would work for so long for under Cal. I'm like, am I going to lose everything? I'm going to lose my fans. I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, I'm glad that was gone, because that's a bad version of what I was. Like, not the correct one. Sorry. It's like, so we did that. I think we rebranded like somewhat around May or June or July of 2021.
Okay.
And then we released Tunnels shortly after that, I think.
Right.
But Pat Ward, he practically shaped my whole idea of what, how everything works and how I should be. Because if I didn't rebrand, I'd still be Cal, and I'd probably not be here right now.
Who knows?
Because I could have had cool music, but I don't know.
Different branding there.
Yeah, not at all. I think I would have been put in a different bucket to like every promoter, and like put myself. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like different. Like people look at you differently. Because whereas when I had a fresh slate, it's like you start again. Like this is cool.
No one can look at you and sort of.
Yeah, but I still had that base fan base, I think. So it was kind of cool to lever that rather than just having no fans at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't change my account. I just changed the name. Like I didn't get a new one. But that was, and then I think I released one more song in 2021, but yeah.
So do you remember like your first? So was Good Life your first like proper gig, like your first DJ gig, like? Because what were you playing then? It would have been like EDM, sort of like...
Yeah, EDM, 3, 2, 1, let's go type vibe.
Cannons, like...
Yeah, Cannons, yeah. It was fun, but yeah, just not the right... just not the same as what... well, I mean, they're young, they don't know what techno is, they don't know what anything is, they just like...
jump up and down.
Jump up, down. 3, 2, 1, let's go. And then they just wear the Eshe hats and that's all it is.
So that was your first like
now
proper...
I'm one of them. No.
That was like your first proper gig? Like your first proper like, I guess,
yes,
DJ
because
gig?
I'd only been playing parties before then and I hadn't had a place to play it like that before. So that was really the main kind of moment for me where I realised. But yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, obviously lockdown came through.
Yep.
So,
and then I'm like, well... if you want that bad, you're going to have to do this.
Yeah.
Not that you're going to have to, like you want to do this and I wanted to do it. So I did it. Whereas most people I think felt like they either A, had to do it to get to a place, which, well, yeah, you probably do. But like, it's like you can't force yourself to make music or do something you're not fully passionate about just to get on a stage that you're not meant for. It's like, and in me saying all this, I'm like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be or where I'm going to be, but it's
you're still very early.
I'm still very early.
Yeah.
It's a very early pie of slice of pie, but it's gonna work. And it's just, I guess, that I'm in it for the long haul, and it's like, it's going to happen. It's just I'm very comfortable and content, I feel, as to where I'm at. And so if it does take 8-10 years, so be it. It's like I'm okay. I'm not waiting for a TikTok to blow up. I'm not waiting for things to kind of just go crazy because, sure, if they do, hectic.
That's great. It's a bonus.
Go algorithms, go for your page. No, but I don't think that I've tried to do that before, put this pressure on myself where it's like, oh, I have to do this now. I have to do it like quick. Like you see so many people around the world that are going so crazy, so quick as well. And like hats off to them because that's insane. And if it happened to me, I'd be like, hectic. Like, I'm ready. I'm not ready, but like,
you take it.
I take it. Like, it's like even Mal P. I don't know how old he is, but he looks really young, and it's like he's got the most #1 played song at Tomorrowland, and it's like he's there, and he's so like he's taken it on so well.
Did he blow up quickly?
No, he was Morris P before that, and he'd done that for a while too. So it was already somewhere big, but he rebranded to Mal P, and then instantly, well, I think it was pretty instant after putting out, I think it was Drugs of Amsterdam or one other one. I can't remember. I think it was Drugs of Amsterdam. He just went next level. So it was like a pivot point, I guess. So he's already had that base, but then from there he went crazy. And I feel as though it's almost to the world's smallest extent what I did. Like I think that it helped to actually just try again, rebrand. Like not even try again because I actually hadn't really tried it all. I hadn't released a song under Cal, but yeah, I think that it's more a case of me just making good music, putting out good music because I have so much shit I have to put out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you haven't
released much.
Yeah,
no,
you haven't released much.
No.
Is that like obviously it's in plans, but what can we expect to sort of see in terms of your releases in the next sort of in the near horizon?
So I said this to myself and my agent David as well. I just said there'll be a new song every month, regardless of whether it's an edit original, just to the unforeseeable future. That's the bottom line because there's just so much. Oh, and this is a whole thing in itself. Me just realizing that it's like it will never be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. You can't just try so many times to make it better when it's just like just be happy with it. Like don't worry, just put it out.
Yeah.
Like fuck, it's not that bad. Like it's literally like half my reasoning in my head for it or justification was just that, oh, I've got to do a few more things, like tweak it a bit, do this and that. It's like they're all like very good.
It's like paralysis.
Yeah,
it's
so
yourself.
bad, and I struggle with it a lot. But I've kind of punched myself in the face and realized it's like people don't care that much. Like if it's somewhat off in some way that only you can hear anyways, it's like whatever. But in terms of releases, I'm going to do, I think I got my edit Sweet Nothing. I've just got it re-recorded, so I'm going to see if I can get that to work. Otherwise, we'll put it as an edit. That's going to come out in the next month. I've just got like a whole, I think I got probably about 35 just sitting there, just like
ready to go.
Pick me. No, like, yeah. So it's just a case of picking the ones that I think we're going to work at the right time. Also, though, it's towards the end of the year, so you can't really release much on Spotify right now. You can probably do one more, maybe.
Why is that?
Or you can, but just because, like, I don't actually fully know. But, like, scheduling-wise, apparently, it's, like, harder to do. Like, you got to, because everyone stops working, I think, in December in the music industry. Or, like, label-wise, you can't release around then.
Right.
I don't know. Jordan, maybe you can help. But I just, yeah, that's the thing. But I'll definitely have one more original out coming before the end of the year. And it's just confirming which one it was. It's between one or two. So I'm not going to say in case it's wrong. But that's happening. But before then, like if the originals are getting slow, it's going to be an edit. Because it's just like people are there waiting for music. And it's just like, what's the point of holding back? So, yeah.
Yeah, because you recently released that Slow It Down remix. Was that your most recent release?
Slow It Down?
Oh, Don't Fuck Around, sorry.
Yes.
I was thinking the other X Club song.
Yeah, no.
Don't Fuck Around.
That one came out last week, maybe?
Yeah.
A week before.
How was producing that one?
Honestly, I made that like before a gig, like in very quickly, and it was so premature to be able to play it, but I did it anyways, and it went crazy. This is at Flinders. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I played it again at Your Shot at Home Bar, and I was like, got a really good reaction. I was like, I hadn't touched the project since then, and it was really not well done.
Oh, really?
And it was actually really premature, but I actually had troubles opening the project itself. But we got there, but it took not long at all to make. I feel like it's an iceberg. It takes so much longer to finish a song than it does to start it, because you're excited at the start. You're like, yes, this is a good idea, and then you're like, I'm bored. This is in my mind. I'm like, it's so much more of an effort to kind of get it done, like to the last 5-10%. But the idea creating and the actual start basis of it is not easy, but it's easy. Like it's very it's fun to do. It's exciting. Like you get dopamine from like hitting the right notes or hitting the right sounds, frequencies in your head, whereas the end is more like just black and white kind of structure, technicalities, frequencies, hertz, whatever. But yeah, it was fun to make, but it took no time. Some songs, most of my better songs are like that though.
Yeah. There's always ones that you don't put much effort in, or the ones that always end up being the more popular ones.
Because you don't care. You just go, oh yeah, we'll just do that. And then you do it without like putting too much pressure on yourself. And even this happened when I had a session with Ben Gerrans. We just were so like, all right, let's go. We're in the studio. And then I'm like, there's so much, I guess, pressure to make something work or good. And it's like, we walked out onto his patio and just sat on the couch and just, I saved the project, but I saved it as a new one. We literally just almost started again. And within that half an hour, we made a really cool song. It was like, because we were just like, fuck it, we'll just go ham and make it really dirty or whatever. And it came together so quick, rather than having this expectation of like, not expectation of thinking that you have to be behind monitors or behind a desk or behind whatever. You can do it on a laptop in the couch.
I saw that story that he put up, and it was you and him, and you guys were like, it was like real producers use like Mac speakers or something.
Yeah,
or something
the 16-inch laptop speakers on Macs go hard. They do, because it actually like gets just enough bass in there to kind of hear it. And it's like, my old Mac Air ones were a bit tinny, but I think you don't need much. Like even my AirPods are crazy good. Like, and I think a lot of producers even do that too. Like, Mastodon or Marauder from Bass Scene, he uses AirPods. I'm just like,
to make his music.
Like, I think it's just what you're used to, I guess. I mean, I think you get used to how it sounds and how it should sound. But I understand why if people want their expensive producing headphones, that's fine. But it's just whatever works. But yeah, on that couch, magic was made, because it just kind of, we just kicked back, and it was just like...
Is that song coming out anytime soon?
Sorry?
Is that song coming out anytime soon?
He's got so many songs. I don't know what he's gonna do.
Well, I know he's got a shit ton of songs. He showed it at his Oxford Art Factory set that he recently played.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, would you go to that one?
Did I go to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, you were playing?
No.
You didn't. Oh, you supported him in a different gig, did you? No, it might have been something else. Sorry,
I played at his. He had his Spectrum nights last year at Oxford Art Factory, which I headlined, but that wasn't anything to do with that one. Last week or the week before, but that was sick. But his fan base has grown so much since then, and it's they're intense, bro. They're like 16s. Well, they're not. They're younger, but they're freaking into it. Like I couldn't even like walk past because everyone was going so crazy. But I think a lot of that came off the back of the Spins one and the English Lad song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good performer though. Like he has a lot of energy. You can tell he gets exhausted from his shows.
Yeah, that's half the reason I reckon everyone goes crazy because he's fucking not boring. It's like you want to go see someone that's like, I don't know, crackhead energy, because it's almost boring trying to give energy when they're just standing there. And it's like, I get it, but I also don't, because I make techno and I play techno, and it's like you want to kind of, I guess, create a vibe, and it depends what kind of set as well. But when you want high energy, like you got to be into it, otherwise it's gonna be hard for them to kind of translate that. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you can't just stand there and be like,
it's like you're twisting knobs
and then expect them to go like,
unless they actually play like a full-on banger. But
well, it's more so just the mood of the set as well. So like if you're in Ibiza and it's like a sunset set and you're not trying to ram 140 donk or 150 donk, it's like it'd be more just a relaxed kind of thing. But Ben's he's done well.
That's sort of like how you perform at your sort of sets. Like, do you bring that sort of energy as well?
I try to. I don't like to be in. I like to feed off the crowd as well, and I try to. But my energies in my sets, I'd say it's almost borderline EDM, and it's kind of hard to kind of not look like that. But I just get so into it.
What do you mean by like borderline? Like the 3, 2, 1 sort of stuff?
No, fuck that. Jesus Christ.
That's when I think EDM, that's really the first thing that comes to my mind is the 3, 2, 1 stuff.
That away from me.
Yeah. So sorry. What do you mean by that EDM?
We never speak of that. So like in a basis, this is just all from my own perspective. I don't know. I haven't been to Europe yet, so I'll have to figure it out for myself. But I'd say as a general basis, it's not. Actually, no, it depends where, but I think as a basis, it'd be more reserved and more, I guess, serious, maybe. I mean, you see their press shots, you're like, scary.
Yeah, right.
Because that's what I like to do too, but not for the whole set, because I like to get into it, especially towards the end. If it's a good crowd, like I like to really dig in, and that's when I start to play a bit faster, because I can't do that the whole time. It's not me, but I'd say it's definitely not some people's piece of pie in terms of what they click with in their niches, especially in the techno one, because I'd say it's more clicky than every other one. But it's does that make sense?
Like, no, that makes sense. I just wanted to sort of how you sort of saw the way you bring your energy.
It'd just be like not thinking that I have to be serious the whole time and like be in a mixing state, just that, because now I do throw my hands and I do
get in it. Get into it.
Like throwing my hands and getting into it, because that's just what I am, and that's what I do. Like when I'm ready for the drop at the end, I'm like, let's go.
What's been your favorite gig so far that you've played since? Favorite gig that you played so far in your career?
There's a couple.
Could be a couple.
There's a couple. The one at home that I did, at Miranda, when I did my hard ticket one, was really cool.
Okay. When was that?
That was 28th of August last year.
Okay.
Sold the dog out. It was freaking hectic. I'm actually playing that next month or this month for Halloween.
Okay, cool.
Get tickets.
Get tickets.
It'd be fun. But yeah, it'd be a few. That one, your shot at Home Bar was really fun.
Recently, or
oh wait, this year?
The one they just had. That one.
Oh no, I didn't play that one. I played it last year.
Last year's one.
That
okay.
was last year at home bar. That was crazy. That was full crowd. It was like really really fun. That one, your shot, and then probably there's one more I'm thinking of. I played one in Gold Coast, Currumbin maybe. I think it might have been there. It was for Merchants of the Sun. It's the jewelry brand. They had a warehouse rave and Jordan Burns was playing. I played before him, but it was really cool because it was just like dark and it was just red lights and it was nothing crazy, but it was just cool mood. And I'd say that's
minimal production.
There was still production, but I guess it was more or less
like a minimalistic sort of vibe.
It wasn't like a EDM production where there's like strobes and like lasers and crazy like. It was more just like a vibe, and it was sick though because I was into my slower stuff, which is it doesn't happen much. Not here, anyways.
Yeah, so you don't really play like slower stuff that much. Like you're
no,
like
I feel like I can't really.
Like what's like slower stuff? Do you like 128? That's what is that?
Yeah,
what you're
128. I don't actually want to play that now, anyways. Like I'd prefer to play like 130 up. But yes, you could. I don't think it's possible to do that in Australia anymore.
128, like slower stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do it when you've got that fan base for it, but I don't yet. When I do, it might make more sense. But when you're at a smaller stage, I think it's harder to, because unless you're, actually no, I'm probably screwing myself here, but it's just I think the shows that I'm playing and the places that I'm doing, which is what I want to be doing it at. No one's playing slow there or slower. Right. Everyone's playing 135 to donk 160.
Yeah. So when you're saying like slower stuff, obviously you're talking about like the techno, like not the house stuff, because obviously.
Yeah, I mean I kind of it's.
Because people might think like, oh, what do you mean Australia? We love playing slower stuff. Like
yeah. Oh, it depends.
Sunsets and stuff like that.
Yeah, it just depends where, because I mean, for high energy, like the shows are always freaking like 140, 150, and they're sick. And I definitely love doing that a bit at the end of my sets. But I don't know. I genuinely haven't seen much around my areas that play slower. I think it's more of like unless I'm completely like out of it all,
oblivious
at all. I mean, I live in Sydney, so
yeah, maybe you might have to travel down to. Have you played in Melbourne yet?
I played there, last year in Shelter. It was with a whole bunch of cool guys. It was Jerb, I think maybe Connect, Oots, and Lucas Boston.
Decent lineup.
It was a good lineup. Caitlin Metcalf. Yeah, it was a good lineup. That was cool. That was really fun. I got a train down there. My flight got canned in
oh shit.
Yeah, really early. So there was no flights.
How long was that train ride? 11
hours.
Oh my god.
10 hours maybe.
And like you couldn't like catch like another flight.
I could have paid $1,300 or something.
But you tried to train it instead.
Yeah.
Fuck. That'd have been rough.
There were so many junkies on that train because if you want to go on a flight, I think it's a bit red hot carrying like a shard in your pocket. So on a train, they're not really doing a security check. So there's also no connection or like phone service or charges
at all.
No, so it's just Jack and I, Jack from my mate from ages ago at Good Life. It was just us two sitting there for 11 hours. Our laptops only got us so far, but we got there.
That would have been red hot though.
It was red hot, and it was fun though. The show was fun. But yeah, Melbourne, I definitely love, and I really think I'm gonna probably move there eventually.
Oh, yeah. I feel like most people are like, in terms of like just like the music scene or just like lifestyle in general. Like, is that your motivation?
I think the arts kind of appreciation is definitely a lot more than Sydney. Sydney's very, I've lived here for all my life, 22 years. I think it's a very good place to make money and to grow as more of a corporate side. Melbourne is probably more for the arts, I think. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right, but it's just how I see it. So I probably will go there eventually. Yeah,
I feel like it's a good way, especially if you're doing like techno and stuff like that. I think we've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
Melbourne is like a hub for that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I think Melbourne is definitely the place that I'll probably go to eventually.
Do you sort of see Sydney becoming, I wouldn't say on the same level, but do you see Sydney sort of making a run for that sort of same appreciation of art?
No.
Or do you think Melbourne's just going to always be like on top?
I think Melbourne will always be on top. I think it'll be Melbourne. There's definitely places popping up everywhere, like in different cities, but I'd say it's Melbourne, Sydney, then Brisbane. Actually, not even Brisbane. There's not really that much. I'd say just Melbourne and Sydney, but Melbourne would be. Or I don't think there'd be. Yeah. Just so many clubs and so many things happening. Just on like one kind of spot. I don't know what the street is.
Chapel Street.
Yes.
Chapel. Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one. I went to Revs there after as well, and I was like, it's like 4 a.m. What's happening? Like, this is crazy. Like, there's only a new place in Sydney now called Basement that's doing something like that, which is I'm playing there tonight.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you are.
see you there. You won't see this, but like, hopefully see you there.
Hopefully everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah, hope you had fun if you came.
Yeah, I saw Basement doing that thing. I think it's been lacking. We've needed that. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Like we needed some place to kind of do that for us because there's not much going on. Like, and I really hope it lasts too because, like, fuck, I think COVID really fucked everyone for it. Like, it was just like, yo, we're not doing this whole late night thing because they're so used to being in bed by like 7 or 8. It's like, why would we want to go out at that time? And I don't think any of the younger people have done that because that's just what they're associated with, I guess.
Well, like that's actually true because it's a bit intimidating seeing that they start at 11 p.m.
Yeah,
like it's like, oh shit. I'm usually like looking at the train home at that point, but that thing starts. But no, I think they're doing a great thing, and they're doing weekly events as well, which is like so difficult.
Yeah, it's intense. I put my hats off to Josh and Kieran for doing it. I hope it works because it'd be really cool to sustain it. I think things like Candies and the cross clubs that used to be, they were good for a while. I wasn't even around then, but as soon as I came out, everyone to 18, they all kind of shut because no one was really going out.
Lockouts and everything.
Lockouts, and it's hard to kind of run that. It's expensive too, so. Hopefully that stays, but otherwise we'll go to Revs. We'll move to Melbourne.
I feel like going to Revs is a bit like a Canon moment. Like it's like a Canon event.
It was. I was like really just shocked. I was like, it was, and I left early. I'm like, okay.
What time was that?
Like 5:30. Like 5.
Well, yeah. Well, I haven't been there for a while, but there's still that thing where they open for like the whole weekend. They just don't close.
Yeah, they don't. They just do the whole. Even when Dom played there, Dom Dollar, he played till like.
Played at 4 a.m. didn't he, or 5 a.m.?
No, he played at 7, I think.
Oh, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like normal.
Yeah, he's fucked up. Nah. I heard you get another. But yeah, that's a thing. Definitely Melbourne's gonna be, I think, always on top.
But like, I guess because Sydney sort of has that, like that corporate side of it. It's like business, very touristy as well.
It is very touristy.
Yeah, whereas Melbourne, I feel like it is touristy, but it's not as.
It's more.
Yeah, not as Sydney.
More arts. Appreciate. I think open-minded as well.
Yeah, but do you sort of see any other clubs in Sydney as of late that are sort of, or any other like collectors and stuff that you've seen as of late that are helping Sydney grow?
I don't know what it's called. There's one in Coogee. It looks really cool.
Is that Pure Bliss?
Yes. Yeah. I saw that pop up. I'm like, yo, I've never seen this in kind of this area. It's
That's
cool.
the Utopic boys, I'm pretty sure. The
yes.
guys that run Utopic. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I literally just saw that on TikTok, I think. I don't actually run my TikToks now, so.
Oh, you don't?
No. Because my friend Isaac, he runs Basements too. I can't do it because I have to try and make it too good or make it too perfect. And I definitely do them still, but it's hard because you want to make it good, but then you like put it out and it does nothing. And so it's like the algorithms don't favor people that spend more time on making their videos. They favor things that are just, I don't know, half chance, half just what's in. So he does that, and he's great. So
you got a good point there. Like, algorithms are so unpredictable.
So unpredictable.
Like, I have no idea with even like the podcast and stuff. Like, I make a clip and I'm like, okay, well this might go well. This might do well because I've I've incorporated this, and then it flops.
I feel like half the reason, or just the controversial stuff, if you say someone with a lot of notoriety or someone that's whatever, it's gonna start some energy, I guess. Like if you're talking about people that are very current or things that are very in, it's definitely gonna have to. I feel like those are the ones that are gonna go better. Like when you talk about big people, and then it has that chance of people going, "Oh, I know them. I'm gonna keep watching," and then the algorithm will kind of pick that up, I guess.
That's true. I feel like if you mention a big name, especially with like the techno scene for me, like if you mention like a big name or something, or
you can almost clickbait it.
Basically, yeah. I don't want to. But that's the thing. I don't want to like come off as very clickbaity. But sometimes, unfortunately, we're all in the same game.
It's just the way the world is.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
it's a whole game. But yeah, he does my TikToks. Shout out Isaac, the man. But because I'm too affectionate about what I want to make, so I don't want to. So he does that better than me. He can just do it. He's got all that, and then because like I still want to do my TikToks and still want to do my content. So I do all my Instagram and Facebook, but for TikTok, I'll make maybe 1 or 2 a week, maybe just one. And
like make them like yourself?
Yeah, but it would be good, and it might be good enough to put on Instagram too. So like I'd make it good enough to put on Instagram. So if I wanted to put it as a reel, I would. But this is all recent as well. Mm-hmm. But it's just because in Australia, I feel like it's hard, or if any country, I think, TikTok is the only way to get like anywhere. Like even labels now, like mainstream ones or big ones, they're all kind of pushing that, and I get it. It's like, fuck. So even like everyone's like subsided to it. It's not like it's a bad thing. But it's like, it's a big thing. Like,
but you've seen TikTok help so many artists. Like
that's what I mean. It's like
it's just like some artists have gone from here to here in like a matter of weeks.
Yeah, you have to. Like, there's no other thing that you could do. You can't pay for 1 million views. Like, and even if you paid for them on an ad, it's not going to convert the same as like a organic viral TikTok.
I feel like for music that TikTok is so important because like I feel like it's a lot easier to convert people to your music from TikTok because
you can literally make a whole trend off just a snippet of a remix or a snippet of not even just a remix, an original, but and it's I feel like I can almost see it in like Lude Christian. He's been in the scene for so long, but then he did that Down Under one, and it kind of took off with the trend. And so he was very established, but it took him to that point where he could do a Europe tour, and it's like, oh, okay. It just like happened as well. It's like he'd earned every single bit of it, but it's just crazy to see that it's like it's
a moment. It's a
moment, and it's a pivot point. It's like. And I see that in a lot of people, even Odd Mob Harry, he's done it a few times with his Is It a Banger? And then he went to the next level. And then when TikTok, when he put it up, I think it was Left to Right, went crazy. Well, Dom was playing it on everywhere anyways. But just that momentum it would get from people and posting it on TikTok. And it'd be like, what's this song? Same with Rhyme Dust. What's this song? It's like, creates that hype that you wouldn't have from just a normal reach because it's getting pushed to new people rather than just your own following, which is crazy. So that's why I gotta do it. That's bottom line.
There's so many, it's just so many people doing the exact same thing, but
well, it's not the exact same, but it's
just
like
they're pushing their music in the sort of on the same platform.
Yeah, so it's do or die. You gotta do it, otherwise, I don't know. I gotta get comfortable. Yeah, it's like I feel as though I'm destined for Europe and America, definitely. So,
well, yeah, your music very much like suits the Europe vibe, 100%. Like, that's definitely like something that I've never been.
Yeah.
So I can't speak, but from what I've seen and stuff, like that sort of music is very attractive and is very like it's demanding in Europe.
Well, I've never been there, but I can just feel that a lot of, even just from my Spotify listeners, that it tells me it's definitely more appreciated, I think, because it's and I don't know why, I don't know the whole demographics, whatever, but like they like and are content with more stuff that I would do as per to just here, because we're a very small fish.
We like to think we're big, though.
We think we're big fish. We're not big fish. We're small little tadpoles. Just
but I mean, it's great that we have so many artists, like, for example, like yourself, obviously, and then we have so many other great artists in Australia.
Yeah,
who are like bringing a name to us and making us like be taken a bit more seriously on the world stage.
Yeah, it's intense to see, or it's good to see that people, even if they're you can get so much talent out of Australia, like just because our demographic's small, we still have so many talented people. And it's hard though, because even when Australians go to watch festival shows, it's almost half our fault, because we're the ones that are not buying tickets for a show because they're not cool enough. So they have to do the whole America tour and come back and be like, do you like me now? And then they do. Like, I'm not going to mention names, but it's just crazy that it's like how much we have to see some notoriety in someone before, like, say people XYZ is associated with this guy now, even though his music's still great.
Yeah.
He's obviously got the following now as well, but it's just that I think we care so much about America, and it's like when they come to tour here, it's like we'd only want to go for them, not when they're based in Australia. Does that make sense, or am I tripping?
It's like Aussie artists sort of like go out, make a name for themselves, and come back, and then they're big, and then they like become.
That's all it is, because they can't do it before they prove themselves to us. I guess that we're like, they care over there, so you should too. Like,
yeah, okay.
I could be wrong. It's just my idea of it. It's like,
but you're talking more like the grand, like the massive scale, like sort of like,
like even
Dom Dollars for
yes,
like
yes,
that sort of scale.
Like he does Europe tours America for years and does the most insane shows ever. But then he comes back, and obviously he's built that fan base from his music, of course. But I definitely feel as though people still care more about
reputation.
Yeah, and just like if you're with these
clout.
Fuck. Yeah, like seriously, it's like it's all right though. It's what it is. But I think I've just got to make a name and do my thing before I really start caring, because I've got to get there first.
Yeah.
Got to make it work, and you can go, oh, poor me, poor this, whatever. It's for however long you want, but I think at the end of the day, it's about you actually doing it yourself, because no one really cares.
Yeah, you allude to a lot of like sort of like, I guess, affirmations and stuff. I think that might be like for a better term, but you're very like self believing, and you're not really in a rush to do all this sort of stuff. Has that sort of been your mentality for like your whole life, or have you sort of just developed the mentality through music?
Definitely, I've had it for a while, but yeah, probably for most of my life. I think honestly it came from when I started DJing and making music, that it kind of really clicked for me. I'm like, wait a minute, this is like 5 years, 6 years ago. I'm like, this is an actual thing that I could use as I could do more than just what everyone else does. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I could actually take this somewhere, and it's kind of carried with me through the whole time. And from even just like putting up stories, people reply and people resonate and associate with what I'm saying. I'm like, cool, I'm not crazy. We're all in the same thing here. It's like, just no one wants to post it or no one wants to say it, but it's just like, yeah, I definitely want that to be a part of what I push out in my music. It's like, that's what I try and do. Like my whole, I guess, emblem and if I had a quote, it'd be create your own reality. It's like, you are, I guess, the governor of what your life will hold. You can go wake up the next day. You won't change the world, but in accumulation of those days, you can be in a completely different place. And it's all from a fear of not doing it, I guess, that you wouldn't do it. But yeah, I definitely have had it, I think, from who I've been around, who I associate with, it's what your mum says, like, who you hang out with. Yeah, it's pretty true.
Yeah, because you're really content on you're really content on the process. You hear a lot of people that are like, I just want to get to the end. I just want to get to the end.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely am I wasn't always, I will say that, but I definitely am for a good while now, just very content. And it's not always going to stay like that, but I think when you start comparing yourself and looking at other people like selling out their shows, whatever. But
it can be a bit unmotivating.
Yeah, but you've got to realize it's all on you. Yeah, it's all you. It's if you do it, sick. If you don't do it, it's like, I don't know. You have the ball in your court. You want to get to where you want to get. Cool. You got to do it. You can't pay everyone everything to get you to where you want to be. The money helps, but at a basis, yeah, it's all got to be you. So that's it. Literally, this is my shirts. Plug, yeah. haven't put them out yet, but this is just another side thing of mine. It's like, just everything to be around. I'm not even going into it. We're right at the end. But
no, we're not at the end. We it doesn't matter. There's no end.
There's an end. Everyone's like, no,
yeah,
back to your own mind.
It's the hour. No, we got to cut it off.
No,
go on. We'll have time.
It'd just be the fact that I'm just trying to push good music with, in my mind, just having a positive, lifting. Even if it's in the lyrics, or not even in the lyrics, just in the mood that it's creating of just motivating, or not even motivating, giving you that. Well, yeah, you could say motivating, but it's just that lift that you might want or need to hear to make you go into your day with a mindset just a bit closer to being that. Anything's possible. Like, anything's possible. But no, I don't mean to sound like an inspirational quote guy or like whatever, but I definitely like to put it in part of me, because otherwise I feel like I would be doing myself wrong, because I know people just make music and whips for the fun of it, which I definitely do. But so a lot of my music's very, I guess, emotional and a part of me. And if I can help someone, or if I can put that in it, which I try to, then yeah, it's cool. It's like, I definitely have gotten messages where people were like needed to hear this. That was sick. Like
your music.
Yeah. And even just that, yeah, like it hasn't, well, a lot of the music that I've made that are about that hasn't really come out yet, but, which will, obviously, it's going to, but yeah, that's just what I'm trying to, I guess, push in the whole scheme of things. It's in probably the overarching idea of the whole thing, just music, branding, everything. That's just what I'm trying to do.
How do you balance how do you balance all of that? Like, what do you sort of do outside of music to sort of help you out with that sort of stuff? And help you keep like that sort of same contentness and that sort of same mentality that you've.
In which aspect?
Like, as in, like, let me rephrase that. Sort of, how do you sort of keep that mentality of, like, you said you don't compare yourself, but do you do like other things outside of music?
Yeah. I'm an apprentice electrician, so I do 4 on and then 3 off. So I get my 3 studio days, and then I get 4 days of don't die, survive money. No, it's good. So I enjoy that. It's another asset to kind of get out of a dark room and out of a space that's just you and your head noise. Mm-hmm. It's like you get to talk to people, have fun. It is fun. You're hanging with people that you're friends with, and you're also in the sun, using your body like it's healthy.
Yeah.
But it gives you that. For my mental health, it's crazy good, because like if you put yourself in a room alone, and if anyone puts themselves in a room alone for so long, for so many days, you will begin to just question, like,
it's go insane,
bro. You can't sit in a studio for 8 hours and then get out and be like, hi everyone. Like, it's hard to kind of just go yourself. I mean, for me, it's hard to do that. I mean, I could do it for a while, and that's what I do on my off days. But then I go back to, and it's not like black and white. This is when I'm in the studio, I'm by myself. That's all the time when I'm working with. No, but at a basis, it's like I have that separation, because then it's like, I think in every aspect, I'm actually more productive on my studio days, because I'm, I guess,
removed from it. Like,
yeah, like I've done my due diligence in the sun. I've got my sleep. I've got everything. It's like I'm excited, I guess, and I know I have XYZ days, and it might not be like this, or won't be like this forever. But it just gives me that asset to then also have some money that I can put into promo and stuff, and send money away to places that you need to pay for music.
So do you not like touch your music at all, basically, for those 4 days that you're working, or do you?
No, I still do stuff after. Yeah, definitely do. After work, I do an hour or 2 when I can. But when I'm making new stuff, it depends what it is. I do a lot of like admin per se, if there's admin for music, after work, because it's not a whole drawn out thing. Whereas when I'm in the studio, I get carried away straight away, and I'm there until it's dark, and I'm like, where did the time go? No, so that's what happens, and I don't want to set myself up for that when I'm like onto a really good idea, and it's late, and then I'm gonna have to get up at 4, because it's like that's just what I do, and it's like that's my structure. But it's like I can't ruin that, so I have to kind of not set myself up for failure. Where sometimes I do get ideas, and I just quickly do it and then I wrap it up. But for a lot of the time I don't, so that's why I have to kind of be careful what I do, because I don't know if it's just me, but when you get a good idea, you kind of just run with it. You can't really like stop. Oh, gotta get my 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and you should have closed the laptop.
No, you're gonna run with it. That's how I've made some of my favorite songs because of that, because I've done that. But sleep.
Is the most important thing.
Any white medicine, any pharma, any big thing, just sleep.
It's hard. Sleep's a hard one for a DJ though, because you.
I know it's whack.
Because you're bloody playing till fucking 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock.
Yeah, well, it's all part of it, and it's again not going to be like this forever with having the both differences in time. Like I'm up at 4 most days in the week because of gym before work, because after work you yeah, but that's just the fact that it's sometimes it's difficult, but I mean it does help having the Monday off. So
I have Monday off.
That's the Monday off. Yeah,
that's pretty.
That's studio day. That's music day. But it's definitely harder. But and I will have to get used to it. But it's just all part of the kind of music industry that you signed up for.
Yeah, interesting.
I love it.
I love it. Yeah, very inspiring. I really can respect your mindset, especially with how content you are.
Oh, thank you. No,
because I feel like I find myself getting caught up in the whole. I just want to get to the end.
It's very easy to as well.
It is very easy,
and I still do as well. I'm not trying to say I'm some bloke that just figure everything out. I haven't. Fuck no.
Yeah.
But I have an idea. And that's kind of, I think, the basis of what most successful people have. If you've got an idea and a plan and a way to execute it, then you just got to, all right, sit back in the passenger seat, put it on cruise control. Not cruise control, throttle it a bit, but like be content in every day of what you're doing. Otherwise, I think you're pushing the wrong thing. Like I don't want to be like, I have to make all this and do all that before then. Otherwise, my time will run out and I won't get picked up and I won't have enough time to get to the stage. No, there's time.
There's always time.
Like obviously you're gonna get more responsibility as you get older, but like fuck, there's time.
Yeah.
Because you can't rush. Like I think it will ruin everything. I think, and I'm in a really lucky circumstance for sure where I'm at right now. But as soon as you start rushing stuff, I think it's just setting yourself up for doom. But that's why I'm still definitely going freaking hard. Like I'm doing 3 days plus maybe like probably a combined 4th day throughout the week of music consistently though. It's like I'm not having a hack and then stopping for a while. I think a lot of people can do that, but
yeah. I want to we'll end it off. We'll start wrapping it up, but what's like your piece of advice for up and coming DJs? You've sort of consolidated a lot. You've sort of like alluded and mentioned a lot of your different like mentalities, but if you could summarize all your advice for upcoming DJs, what would you say?
I'm saying this half myself too, to be honest, but I think it's it depends what you're doing it for. You got to really question what you want, and if you don't want it, the whole thing of it, don't worry about it, but don't put that pressure on yourself, and don't tell anyone either that you want that. I guess be true to what you actually want. Like if you'll be playing festivals, the big ones in Europe, America, whatever, cool. And if you want that, you just need to talk to someone that's doing that or is close to doing that or has some place to be able to comment and help you execute that. I think it'd just be a case of knowing how serious you are about it, because at the other end of the spectrum, you can just put out a song and it goes really crazy and you go quick to the top. Whether that works long term, some do, some don't. But I think it's just the fact that you've got a kind of a plan of what you want, because it's hard to kind of break through the noise of how many good producers and good musicians there are. But as a DJ, like, do you mean producing DJ or just DJ?
Both. I think most nowadays are DJs and producers.
Yeah. Well, it'd be that produce
music. Just a lot of music.
And put it out too. Oh yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just like produce music and put it out.
Put not prematurely. Don't like find that fine line. Don't rush your releases, but freaking Actually, I think I'm on the other end of the spectrum, to be honest. I think a lot of people put out stuff too early, but I think I put it out too late. So I have. Not anymore. We're not doing that. But just put all your time into music, making music, as opposed to DJing. This isn't for everyone, but I'd say for most people that want to make their career in music within the scene that we're in now, it's going to come from your own songs that people want to hear and bigger people will play, I think. Which will get content, which will build you, is going to come from your songs that get exported out of Ableton. It's like that song is then going to get downloaded and get played, and people are going to be like, whoa, what's that song? And then they're going to ask who it is, and that's how you're going to build your name. You can be in one place DJing, or you can be in 20 billion from a song. That's what clicks for me. I'm like, okay. Yeah, we gotta do this. Like, it's not just as a basis of what you got to do to get big, because people obviously find those things that they have, which is like Fred again. Like, even Storm's done it so great. He's I think it was more of a DJ when he first started, but now he's got like a whole album EP.
Stum
or Storm, I don't know.
We'll never know.
I haven't even met him, but just from what I've seen, like it's come off the back end of all that hype from his shows, but then he's got his music coming out sick. It's like whole package, but the basis was built from the shows though, so it can go either way, I think, in terms of what'll work. Like, some people base their whole existence around producing and making good music, and some not saying black and white, but it's just you can see the difference, and I think you need a bit of both. You can have really good music, but if no one's playing it out, or you're not playing, it's harder. So I think just the bottom line is, though, make music and make a lot of it and put it out, because that's the key. I mean, you can DJ and sometimes it clicks, and I definitely have seen it. It does click a lot, because you can get picked up like that. But music's the most sure way. Make your own music and play it live. Get videos of you playing it live. Put it out there.
It's great.
That's what I got to say.
Yeah, that's great advice. I think that's very, like, I think a lot of advice that's like good advice for people that are coming up. And it's, unfortunately, people know they have to do that sort of stuff, but no one will actually.
Yeah, you can tell anyone to do anything. You lead into water, but it's like, it depends. It goes back to the first thing I said about, do they want it? What do they want? Do they want to just play clubs for fun, or do they want to go to Europe and America and do that whole thing?
What's your motivation?
Sorry?
What's like your motivation?
To do
like
that?
Your why? Like, no, like I'm saying, like that's sort of like.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. That's why, because you gotta not lie to yourself. Don't make yourself feel bad about doing something that you're not actually wanting to do. It's like, figure out what you want. Like, do you want this or not? Like, if you do, cool. Make a plan. Let's do it. Let's go hard. But if you don't put that pressure on yourself, because some of my friends, they do it for fun. It's like, you can, like, Max, he just does it for fun, but the fact that he's doing it for fun, he's getting so much more out of it because he's just going with it. And then people definitely go up from that too, though. So it's not just a case of, if you don't want to take it super seriously, that you're not going to get anywhere. If that makes sense. But it's just more of a base of, like, don't say, I want all this, and then lie to yourself, because then you'll feel bad about it when you don't get there. Take everything I say with a grain of salt, though, because not everything I say is true. It's just my idea of what
that's the point. We want to hear your perspective. Yeah, everyone's got their own perspectives, and someone might be able to grab some value out of it. That's the point.
That's the whole thing. That's why we're here.
Yeah. Well, that's very good. I think very inspiring conversation. I think anyone listening, if you're up and coming, or even if you have been established or semi-established, I think it's just a great stuff to hear. Like, it's good stuff to hear. That's what, like, from what the stuff you're talking about.
I don't think it's said enough. That's all I think.
Yeah.
I think that it's definitely there, but and there's a few people I can think of that do it. Not necessarily in the music industry, but definitely needs to be there. And if I can do that.
No, awesome. We have. Hopefully this podcast is a testament to that.
Please.
Well, everyone, obviously, thanks for listening. Hopefully you guys got inspired from that conversation. We just took some value out of it. But yeah, thanks guys for listening. Thank you for Callum Audent for coming on to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Thanks for being on. Yeah, thanks for sharing your wisdom and your knowledge and your perspective. But obviously, guys, if you enjoyed, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share around with your friends. It helps a lot. We're nearly at, if anyone's listening, we're nearly at 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Select all contacts and share with them. Do like the whole 3,000 whatever you've got in your phone and just go share. do the whole thing. Don't just
share it to absolutely
not singular digits here. Do the whole Facebook invite friends to your events.
Even your primary school friends you haven't spoken to in 15 years. Message them.
If you're at this point, you obviously care. So go on.
So obviously,
be that guy.
Yeah, share it around. Nearly at 100 subs. We've been killing it recently, so I appreciate everyone's support. Appreciate all the guest support as well, Callum as well today. But besides that, I'll see you guys in the next episode, and hopefully you guys have a good rest of the day, morning, or night. See you later.